All right, so this is brand new, and I wrote it just for all of you babes tonight, and I hope that you like it. So, Dusty Springfield is one of the greatest pop vocalists of the 1960s, but she's probably just as known for her style. Peroxided bouffant, back-combed into oblivion, an impressive wig collection, eyes heavily lined in dark shadow, thick lashes, and glamorous gowns when glamour wasn't in style. Because in Dusty's heyday, women vocalists were supposed to look like the nice, approachable, reassuring, naturally beautiful girl next door. The kind of girl, as Lucy O'Brien puts it, who would make you some tea and listen to your problems. In contrast, Dusty looked startlingly artificial. She did not look like she was going to make you some tea. She reveled in high femininity. She made herself untouchable through it. Here's one of my favorite stories about Dusty Springfield. Comes from this cis dude who was in a band with her in the early days on this UK television program, and being interviewed for a documentary, he's asked to reflect on her look, and what he remembers most about her hair is the stench. From the back combing, not washing it to achieve that height of back combing, and the hairspray, he admitted that he actually hated to stand next to her to share a microphone. A man-repellent bouffant. Sign me the fuck up! Actually, I think it does work. So, queer people immediately recognized her look as camp. Her over-the-top femininity made her a gay icon. British drag queens started impersonating her, and she loved that. She started impersonating them right back. Got some makeup tips from them, just incorporated their exaggerated version of her back into her own style. But let's be clear, Dusty's gender expression was already subversive on its own terms. She's a gay icon because she herself was queer. Or as she put it in a 1970 interview, rather daringly in a move that almost cost her her career, bent. She was a queer femme icon. She was embodying this high femme les aesthetic when virtually nothing like that existed in the cultural mainstream, and in a period when being bent was still, to the general public, an unimaginable horror. That whole swinging 60s sexual revolution thing, yeah, not so extended to queers, as it turns out. Dusty's record label went to great lengths to keep her closeted. They framed her as quirky, eccentric, and went so far as to stage a date with a well-known heartthrob when people started asking too many questions, which they did, because how dare she not have some man around her, right? Sometimes hilariously, their efforts to reframe her actually made her queerness more obvious to those who knew how to read between the lines. Here's a great example. So, album liner notes, cute, autobiographical anecdotes to sell this eccentric individual. Her convent school talent show performance was canceled because the nuns found her use of purple lighting too erotic. Can someone, let's just, everything's very heterosexual in that anecdote. Nothing to see here. Absolutely, I see no problem. So queer people knew it was up, and Dusty, she lived her fucking life, you know? She chased love while making records about it. I love imagining her going down these narrow stairs to the Gateway in one of London's only dyke bars at the time. In 1966, when You Don't Have to Say You Love Me hit airways, she was living with her lover Norma Taniga, an American brunette singer-songwriter. And then she'd later cheat on Norma with Julie Felix, another American brunette singer-songwriter. Did Dusty ever have a type? Google it later. And she'd tell Julie that she would think about her when she sang the lyrics to I Close My Eyes and Count to 10. There were many other loves, many heartbreaks. After years of being harassed by the press in the UK and being heckled at concerts, Dusty became terrified of being publicly exposed. Her mental health suffered. Her love life ultimately read like the tragic plot of a lesbian pulp novel. Incidentally, one of the only other places in the 60s where you could find some representation of queer women. I know, it's dark. But some people think that that's why she excelled so brilliantly at the other facet of her camp persona, that of the tragedy queen, who could sell a song with such melodramatic gusto that you didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I usually cry, just FYI. No matter how trivial or cliche the lyrics might seem, she could take it and just imbue it with this seriousness, that melodramatic, high camp feeling, and a paradoxical vulnerability that could turn it into a fucking masterpiece. So I'm really drawn to drag that connects us to our queer ancestors, their joys, their sorrows, the maps of their lives that might align with our own, even in just small ways. When I listen to Dusty's voice, that great, amazing, big voice, I want to reach through the years. I want to hold her perfectly manicured hand in mine. I want to say to her, I see you. I too am that flick of eyeliner asking to be seen.